Hello YouTube. Today I will be doing a video on this 2024 Dodge Durango SRT 392 Premium All-Wheel Drive, thanks to Shepherd's, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram in Auburn, Indiana. So with that, let's get right into this video. I've always thought the Dodge Durango looked like a muscle car, especially depending on how they're done up. This one's gonna prove that in full force. The most obvious thing separating this Durango 392 from your normal Durango are the 392 badges on the side, finished in black. But that's not all. You also have these 5-lug matte black 20-inch rims. Aren't those pretty sleek looking? Behind them, to stop this beast, are these massive SRT Brembo Performance 6-piston brake calipers. You also have this vented hood that comes standard on this model of the Durango. It also comes standard on the RT and the Hellcat. And you can also get it for an additional charge of, I think it's like $999 on the Durango GT. So now that we've gone over the main exterior differences, another small one to point out that you wouldn't notice because this car is black diamond tri-coat. See, it's not just your normal black. It's the black painted mirrors that just come standard with this edition. You can also get the blackout package on any other edition of the Durango except for the Citadel. But let's do a walk around and show you guys the rest of this thing. You've also got blacked out badges around the rear. You've got a blacked out Dodge badge up there. You've got a black SRT emblem in the bottom right. And not to forget, you have Pirelli tires on this thing. So before we show off the engine on this 392, let's hear the exhaust. Isn't that mean? Definitely not your normal family hauler SUV right here. Let's go over the engine specs of the Durango 392. The Durango 392's 6.4 liter Hemi V8 is paired to an 8-speed automatic transmission. The Hemi engine in this monster puts out 475 horsepower and 470 pound-feet of torque. The 0 to 60 on this version of the Durango is 4.1 seconds, which is killer for a 7-seater family hauler. For being as big as this thing is, it knows how to put down the power. When it comes to fuel economy though, you definitely aren't buying it for that. The Durango 392 gets an estimated 13 miles per gallon city and 19 on the highway. When it comes to the size of the Dodge Durango, it is classed as a mid-size SUV. Despite this, it does have 7 rows, and it is one of the biggest, if not the biggest SUV you can get in its class. The Dodge Durango has a wheelbase of 119.8 inches and a length of 200.8 feet. If it's hauling the family, loading up cargo, or leaving other cars in the dust, this Dodge Durango 392 can do it all. So let's show you how much room you really have in this Durango. We're gonna start in the back of this thing to show you how much cargo you can fit in this vehicle. So when it comes to cargo space behind this third row, you have a little well right here, which is really nice. A lot of modern vehicles have it, and it's pretty decent sized. It's at least a foot long, about 8 inches deep, so you can fit quite a bit of stuff in it. Not to mention, you also have this nice little pocket to the side that you could put something in. So when it comes to cargo space, right here, right in front of me, with all of the rows extended, you have 17.2 cubic feet. But if I fold down this third row, you'll have even more than that. So to fold down the third row in this Dodge Durango, all you have to do is grab this lever right here. Once you pull it, your headrest will go down and you'll feel the seat kind of loosen up, and then you just push it forward. Same with this other seat right here, do the exact same thing. Boom. One thing I'm a little bit disappointed about the Durango is, considering how expensive this SUV is, it would be nice if you had like automatic seat controls, so you didn't have to kind of like bend way into this thing like I am here. And now that we have the third row folded down, we have 85.1 cubic feet. So that original 17.2 cubic feet with everything up, quadrupled. And if you guys noticed, instead of going off the arm, we actually got the real size. But we should still go off of the 18-gallon tote size. So if you had these two rows up, you know, as you normally would, if you had 7 passengers, something like that, we'll pretend the third row's up, right? You could probably fit one 18-gallon container just right here. And you have size, room on, you could fit one 18-gallon container right here, and you'd have room on each side still. Not much room, but a little bit of room. But now, with the third row folded forward, you could fit 1, 2, 3, probably fit 4, stacking them lined up on each side. That's quite a bit of room. And if you folded those two seats down, boom, you got 4, 5, 6, 7. It's crazy. And you could stack them on top. That's a lot of stuff you could fit in this thing. Can't beat that. You also have cup holders back here too, a 12-volt DC outlet, and here's your switch to close the trunk. There we go. All right, now that we finally made it to the inside of the Durango 392, let's show off the back seat. So to start things off, these seats are done in this really nice red leather with nice contrast stitching throughout. A really nice place to be. And since this Durango is an upgraded trim level, it does have a center console back here. So the center console comes standard in your Hellcat, your 392, most RTs have it. And when it comes to the GTs, most of them just have a bench back here, or I've seen some of them where they don't have anything back here at all, and you can just access the third row. So that's what we're working with back here, which this is pretty executive looking to me. Let's show off this center console. This isn't just your normal big opening center console with just one area of storage. You literally have 2 areas of storage in it. You have like a coin compartment right here, and then you can flip it up, and boom, you got this gigantic well. Look, you can't even see my hand, it goes so deep. I mean, it's at least a foot deep. So you can fit a lot of stuff back here. And you've got a USB outlet in there and a 12-volt DC outlet. Here's your cup holders for back here. Here's your AC controls, heated seat controls down there. You have a normal AC like house wall outlet right here, which is really nice. 2 USB ports. Here's your speaker in the door, and then here's your like carbon fiber effect on the door, which looks really cool. Followed by this nice black leather with contrast stitching. Looks really nice in this Durango. You also have a nice soft suede headliner, and here's your vent controls all up here, just lined up. You also have reading lights right here, and then there's your vents, and then you also have a speaker, which is pretty cool, and then there's some more vents for the third row. So this thing is definitely a really cozy place to be once you got the air all on. And then there's a hook right there if you want to hang clothes back here. I also forgot to mention leg room. So my family's owned a couple Durangos, and I've always been a kid when they owned them. So I've sat in the back, and they've always been pretty roomy places to be. The seat in this one is really far back, and I still have a little bit of room between my knees in it. So it's like a cozy car back here, comfy place to be. My father's like 6'4", and he's owned 2 of these, and he fits in them just well. So these Durangos, they're definitely made for all sizes. So I'm 5'11", I fit in it really well. He's taller, he fits in it really well. So hey, if you're a basketball player, this is the perfect thing for you. Now let's jump to the front. All right, here we are in the front of the Durango 392. There we got that nice SRT logo shown on the startup. Here's your gauge cluster on it. You do have a digital gauge cluster with a normal like speedometer right there, which is nice for sure. I love that feature in newer cars where you have both. Here's your rear view mirror in here. Here's your big beefy steering wheel. Really nice steering wheel that this thing comes with. Heated steering wheel, nicely wrapped in leather. Really nice. Here's your carbon fiber effect on the doors, more leather on the doors. There's your Harman Kardon speakers. You got nice red leather on the dashboard, broken up with black leather on top and on the front right here. You've also got nice stitching all around the whole front of the dash and just the whole interior in general in this thing. It's all finished off really nice. And then there you go, you got SRT badges in the seats, so nobody forgets what they're riding in, which you can't with the sound this thing makes. And it's pretty cool. You don't see that much. You got red seatbelts in this thing. This thing looks really ominous in black. It just looks killer. It's super cool looking. And I love the black ceiling in here. A lot of cars, newer cars, they're like a contrast, like lighter color in here. But I just think it looks way classier to have it all black throughout. So before we get to the screen, let's start in the middle right here. So here's your shifter in the Dodge Durango 392. To shift it, you just push this button on the side and pull back. When you pull back, you do have a backup camera right there on your screen. And there's just your other modes. You can also shift it into like shifting with the paddle shifters too, which is really cool. You also have a lot of buttons on your center. Here's your heated seats, your ventilated seats, which I'm going to turn on in this weather, your heated steering wheel. There's your passenger controls. Here's a screen off button, which is cool. There's your climate controls, volume for the radio, air circulation. We'll turn that on because it's hot as heck out. Here's more of your climate controls for the front and rear. Like the windows, if you want to defrost them, just tap one of those. Here's your radio tuner. And then here's some nice like piano black parking assist buttons, traction control. There's your SOS sensors. Here's your launch if you want to launch this thing, drive this thing like a race car. And there's an SRT button. That's pretty cool. And launch control is unavailable because it's too new. Typically these Dodges take about 500-600 miles before you unlock all that stuff. You also have your home screen, which shows your little navigation, and then it shows your radio right here. And you can edit these pages too if you want to see different stuff. You can add, change, whatever. Here's your different layouts you can add. Now if we go to media, here's your Sirius XM that's already hooked up in this thing, but you can do Bluetooth, you can have AM radio, you can use USBs. It's pretty cool. You can browse your different stations right there, and then you can change your audio tuner settings right here. So you can change your balance, equalizer, etc. I mean, it's cool how you can edit like where more sound comes from and all of that. That's a neat feature. I don't know how many people use that, but I mean, if you got kids in the back and they're like, turn the radio down, well, just tap it closer to you and crank it up. Here's your comfort settings, just your different seat controls, seat modes, AC, etc. Here, if we want to crank the vents all the way up on the screen, we can, but I'm not going to, so you can hear me. Here's your navigation. Really easy to use navigation. A lot of these vehicles navigations now are like really similar to Google Maps. You don't have to go through that weird menu where you click like, you know, certain letters and it like grays out the rest of it. It's cool. You can just search it like you would on your cell phone. So I like that that's nice and streamlined from our 2020 Durango. It's one of the older navigations where you gotta like punch it and it grays out certain things. So I do like these navigations better. And here I am doxing myself. Here's the view of like the whole town. So that's cool. Here's just your Bluetooth to connect your phone. Here's SRT stats. It says SRT right here. Maybe it's not SRT stats. Third row headrest fold. Yeah, it's not SRT stats, but it's cool. It shows it still. Here's your rear view camera, which honestly, for being a 2020 Ford, is a bit grainy. So that would be my only gripe with it, is it is kind of grainy. And it would be really cool to see a 360 view camera in one of these, but I'm sure Dodge has got that in the works. And then here's just your normal settings that you'd be dealing with on the screen. And you can see me because of the black reflection, but there's just your different like display modes and stuff on here. And then here's your app selection. You have your performance manager right here that I showed you guys a little bit earlier. You also have Alexa, which is pretty cool, and a device manager and Android Auto. And then you also have all these other options right here. Sirius, media, auxiliary, etc. You got your comfort stuff. You can customize the inside of this thing quite a bit. So now that we've shown all of that off, here's your trailer brake controls too, right down here. These things are excellent at towing trailers. Here is your headlight controls right here, and then your screen brightness or dimness. Here is your switches for your windows. There's your mirror controls. Overhead, we got our garage door openers. We got our sunroof that we can open, which I'm crazy for doing this in this heat, but there we go on that. The Durango doesn't have a panoramic sunroof, which doesn't bother me because the sunroof's huge in this thing to begin with, but that's that. And then there you go, you can pop your trunk open right here. Here's your overhead lights, and then here's a little compartment lined in felt, or is that foam? That's foam. You can put glasses in. And look at that, conveniently placed in the sunshade. We have a window sticker. So here is the window sticker on this Durango 392. The base price on this vehicle is $74,995, but this one is a pretty loaded Durango 392. So its price comes out to, you can't see it because it's blurry, $89,640. And here's all the options in it. And with that, this has been most of my walk around and kind of tour of this Durango 392. The window sticker and all that stuff will be accessible on the dealer's website. That'll be in the description below. There are dealer incentives being run on this vehicle right now because it is a 2024, bringing it all the way down to $79,989. Overall, I really like this thing. This is a really sweet SUV. For the price point, there's not a whole lot of vehicles like this that are sporty like this in this price. Like your Alpina BMWs are priced way out of it. Your AMGs are priced way out of this region. So to be able to buy an SUV like this for this kind of money is pretty reasonable. And you do see a lot of 392s on the road. I also see Hellcat ones on the roads. Overall, it's a really nice family hauler, a really good car for road trips, a good car for towing with, etc. So they're all around just a great vehicle. You can fit a lot in them. You can have fun on the drag strip too. You can haul the family, drag the thing, You can tow stuff in it. What's not to love? You can put all the groceries in the back of it because it's huge back there. So that's my opinion of this thing. If you like the video, leave a thumbs up. If you're looking for any other car reviews, certain vehicles, etc., just leave the vehicle make, model in the description below. And with that, I'm gonna get headed out of here. So thank you all for watching.